down. All right. Hello. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I've got levels.
1 2 3 4. Simon.
All right. Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4.
Pretty consistent across the two mics, do you think?
Yeah, just give me.
I'll
Try and find a sweet spot here.
Yep.
Just one more time for the both of you.
Yep. 1 2 3 4 on Steve's mic. 1 2 3 4.
Yep.
1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4.
Just check to see that's coming through.
Yep. Do you do commentary of any other sports?
Yeah, I do a lot of rugby league. That's my main one. Sorry, can we do it one more time? Yeah. Just one last check.
Nice. All right. All right, Matt, testing again. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. This is Steve's mic at Port Melbourne at JL Murphy Reserve. Simon?
On Simon's mic, testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4.
Yep, sounds great.
Yep.
Thumbs up.
Great.
Oh, on my end. Okay, so just basically pretend that we're live. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I should be able to do it on my end. I've got the marking where I've got it set. So yeah, cool. I'll look after it. Cheers. Yeah, if you guys just leave it on, I'll kill it from the mic. It just feels some white noise coming through or something.
NPL Victoria returns to Port Melbourne's JL Murphy Reserve. This evening's combatants, a new-look Sharks outfit, hosting another somewhat unknown quantity in the St Albans Saints. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel for the opening round. This encounter in season 2024. Nick Marinos graduates from a successful managerial era with the Sharks under-21 side that took all before them. To take the reins from Adam Pittick, Marinos will no doubt bring a youthful swagger to the Sharks of 2024. Meanwhile, Ryan McGuffey's St Albans will have to overcome a poor record against the Sharks to take the 3 points back to Churchill Reserve this evening, with the Saints recording only one win in their 11 meetings in the fixture. My name is Steve Curtin, coming to you live from JL Murphy Reserve, and alongside me, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome to the broadcast position Simon Rathbone. Good evening.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, round one clash and all to play for the St Albans, looking to get their campaign off in the best possible fashion on the road here to start their 2024 campaign. Like you touched on, for the Sharks, they've had the wood over St Albans, but it's a different kind of lineup to that they faced last season. Plenty of fresh faces. It'll be interesting to see whether the chemistry can gel in the early exchanges as they try and work their way into the contest. And if you're a St Albans fan who's made the trip across, you'll be hoping their side can get the jump on them early and try and apply some pressure on some of these new recruits that Port Melbourne have brought in for this season. Kickoff not too far away. Port Melbourne looking to improve on last season's results, finishing 5th and being knocked out in the elimination final against the Melbourne Knights. Looking to go a step further this season. They've got a new coach, new faces, hoping that they'll get them there. While for St Albans, it's plenty of fresh young faces there. Good youth set up there at the club. They're hoping to improve on their 11th place finish last season, and they'll be hoping to start in the best possible fashion right here.
And looking to those starting lineups this evening, Simon, for the home side, 8 new players in the starting 11. That must be a record, at least in recent times. The goalkeeper coming in with experience in Bulgaria is Ilya Shalomonov-Trenkov. Dane Milivanovic comes into the defence. Alex Baker as well, who we believe will play wing-back. Makur makes a return to the club. Also in defence is Christian Bombarci, the 24-year-old who will be donning the captain's armband. Charlie Leach comes in from Altona Magic. A familiar face on the left flank will be Daniel Edwards. In attack, Emmanuel Peters, Owen Stokes and Ethan Brooks, along with Jackson Courtney Perkins, one of the few remaining players from last season. And the lineup for St Albans, Simon, as well. Still a few changes and new faces in their team too.
Yeah, starting in between the sticks, Jasmine Koronovic, number 11, Joseph Monick, James Ricobani there at central defence alongside Chris Dibb. Well, Michael Jurkic will be there to captain the side this afternoon. In the midfield, Max King joins Joseph Kalina, Brian Summerskill, Ivan Razumich. As play gets underway, up front, Gerez and Diven look to go long early, headed forward and out of danger. St Albans wasting little time and trying to go out onto the attack right from the kickoff. Throw taken as they look to drive their way towards the box. Cleared forward there by Milanovic. Kalina wants to go back. Dibb. Devane to swing things off to the right. Cries for a handball, but on the call. King looking to work his way down that right wing. Only for Baker to drive the ball out of play.
So early throw in to St Albans on that far side. Our match referee tonight, Pulya Gadirian, assisted by Vince Tukarolo, Wenhao Zhang, and the fourth official in front of us, Uga Arslan. St Albans in their new kits, and Chris Dibb on the ball. He was the man on the catwalk at the St Albans social rooms, modelling this new second kit at the jumper presentation during the week. It's just a tad darker than that kit we saw worn by the Melbourne Knights on Thursday night. And also the Port Melbourne Sharks, a new look for them too, shedding their traditional vertical stripes for a half and half red and blue number. Striking kit, that one from the Sharks.
Ivanovic playing it out as they look to Working up just over halfway. Diving effort there to try and keep the ball in play. St Albans looking to shield it out, eventually having to deal with it. Miscommunication there. Hands the ball back to Port Melbourne. Maka. Now it's a Dunlop on this right-hand side. Receiving plenty of pressure.
Late whistle there.
Garris came in and stuck out a boot. Put Melbourne play it on. Dunlop flicks it and into the safe hands there of Koranovic.
Well, he might have made more of the chance there, Dunlop, had he realised how much time he had.
So the crowd rolling in for this round 1 fixture. The sun is shining down here at General Murphy Reserve. Great conditions for a game of football.
Some pressure from Courtney Perkins there, but the new face in the heart of the St Albans defence, James Riccobene, a handy asset, the left-footed central defender, a real commodity these days. And so you've seen him with Avondale in the past. He's pretty handy on set pieces with free kicks as well. Those in-swing corner kicks from him have been a weapon. Not that you normally see central defenders taking the corner kicks. Here's Bombarci. Oh, he's nearly sold Milovanovic a bit short there. Good pressure from Monek, winning the ball back. Summerskill, strong in the tackle, rides one challenge and keeps possession. It's Joey Chelina. Monek making the run, the overlap at the pass from Max King. Unable to find him, but St Albans will get their second opportunity from the throw-in. Alan Jerez, the bleach blonde hair, he's one who's easy to pick out for us. The ball in by Monek, oh, right into the corridor of uncertainty. Shalamanov Trinkov came out for the punch and didn't get there, and that was a close call for the Sharks there, Simon.
Sharks just receiving a bit of pressure here as St Albans continue to go out on the attack, bring themselves corner. As Guerrez tried to whip a ball in there down the left flank. So the first real opportunity going the way of the visitors here this afternoon. See how Port Melbourne can deal with this set piece.
Let's go. Watch these punts too high, yeah? Flat.
Plenty of numbers flooding into the box here for St Albans. Corner hooked into the near post. Cleared out as far as so they come away on the fast break now. Port Melbourne looking to link up through the middle there. Pass too heavy and instead rolls kindly there for Shalanov Trenkov.
Well, our first look at the number 35 there, Emmanuel Peters, coming across from Downey City. He looks like a lively member of the front three for Nick Marinos. Really quick off the mark with that closing speed. Just a strong header by Alex Baker. Going to number 12. Normally operating up the right flank. He's playing on the left of the back three, it looks like. Alongside him, Milovanovic and the captain, Bombarci. That's a decent ball forward for Dunlop, who brought it down the chest, but he couldn't bring it under his spell, and it runs harmlessly out of play for a goal kick at the northern end of JL Murphy, which is bathed in sunshine, around 27 degrees this afternoon down here by the shores of Port Phillip Bay. And isn't it fantastic to have NPL Victoria back and the fans here in t-shirts and shorts, loving these sunny conditions. What a great opening round it's been. Earlier match this afternoon, 4-3 in the favour of Avondale. High-scoring thriller over at Avenger Park. The win over the recently promoted Dandenong City, giving a good account of themselves.
Well, it's been a lively start from both sides inside the opening 7 or so minutes. New season, new opportunities. Just feel like for the Port Melbourne Sharks, with so many fresh faces, no one's spot in the starting 11's guaranteed. Everyone looking to audition for their role. trying to start in the best possible fashion here as they try and work their way into the game. Dispossessed there by Guerres, who finds the ball at his feet now once again on this left wing. Feeds it through. Looking to claim the corner, and will do so.
Play from Josh Diven there, youngster coming across from Western United's NPL side, just 19 years of age and making some handy runs so far for St Albans. So they get their second corner of the afternoon. Notice something unique about the Port Melbourne kid as well, but we'll come back to that in a moment, Simon. We'll see if St Albans can offer something from this corner kick to get Ryan McGuffey out of his chair. It's well cleared away by that Sharks defence. Only as far as Riccobene. There was no one up on the halfway line for the Sharks. Here's Monek. Operating at left back. That cultured left boot. Again into that corridor of uncertainty. Good punch away by Shalmanov Drinkov. Making that one his own that time. Edwards applying the pressure on that far side, and it's another throw in. Going the way of St Albans. Now, just noticed, Simon, those new Port Melbourne kits, they've got the player names on the back of them, a la what we've seen from a club that you're familiar with, Hume City.
Yeah, nice handy addition for the likes of us commentators. Makes the job a whole lot easier. And the bright red and blue there for Port Melbourne.
Maybe something we could see rolled out universally across the league, perhaps by next season. Who knows?
There's a long ball put in over the top. Too much weight on it.
Even the pacey Courtney Perkins wasn't going to make that one.
They've been peppering that left edge defence of St Albans already in the early stages of this first half. It's the Dunlop and Courtney Perkins causing a few issues, none of major concern just yet for the visitors. As Koranovic wants to drive this upfield. Sitting up there in the breeze. Dunlop won the header. Feed it through. Courtney Perkins gets it back. Slides it through once again. McCall looking to put on his left foot and aims for that top left corner. And much to the relief of St Albans' defence, just travelling wide.
What a great little combination between Jackson Courtney Perkins and the new signing from Dandenong City, Emmanuel Peters. 5 matches with Dandenong City last season and 7 with the other promoted side, Manningham United Blues. He had a foot in the camp of both of those, and he finds himself in the top flight, but with a different club again, and he's looking good out there so far. Emmanuel Peters, just the 1 goal last season in the league, looking to add to or equal that total in the opening minutes of the first match of the season tonight. Chris Dibb in the blue boots, standing over this one, sending it forward. It's a free header though for Bombachi, too easy to defend.
Peters and Courtney Perkins stripping the ball in midfield there. Mocker now goes out to Dunlop. Slips past the outstretched boots, whips the ball in. Only goes as far as Summerskill. And Ivanovic taking no chances. St Albans throw coming right up.
We almost got a kick there ourselves there, Simon, but looks like a late change took place for the Port Melbourne side with Dunlop coming in, and I can't see if Owen Stokes is out there, so perhaps he suffered an injury in the warm-up. He was named in the starting 11, the new signing, Owen Stokes, the Irishman. Well, in fact, he is out there. As he
might be Charlie Leach.
Charlie Leach, the missing player. Sitting in the middle of the park too.
Fine.
Well, someone's not there for Port Melbourne anyway. We'll work it out and get to you soon, but a late change nonetheless for Port Melbourne. Flags up for offside.
Yep, Guerra's just trying to feed in Josh Diven there.
Bright start from Diven. St Albans technical area up in arms about that offside decision. Paul Donnelly, assistant coach, is not too pleased at all.
Baker. To that far side, gets it back once again. Finds himself up just shy of halfway. There is Leach.
So it might be Ethan Brooks is the man who's not there. We knew we'd get there eventually. Process of elimination. Good opportunity, though, for Dunlop in the starting 11 after originally being named as a sub, and he's been lively so far as well down this right-hand side in front of your broadcast camera. We've got Matt behind the camera for Sportscast Australia tonight, giving you the best look at the action from home, and pleased to be coming to you on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel this year. Change in broadcast partner from NPL TV of last year, and we hope that it's nice and accessible for you to partake in the matches as they happen thick and fast already into the season. Here's Peters. Dunlop. It's a good look at goal. Kranovic down. Gets everything behind it. 196 centimetre shot stopper. Not troubled with his first save of the evening.
Yeah, Dunlop just opting to take it onto the left foot. Take a touch there. Just on the edge of the box. Couldn't quite get the purchase he was after, and as a result, easy pickings for the St Albans goalkeeper as Leach tries to bring that under control. Pitch there by King. Now Dibb. Play it out through the back. Gergic. Claims for a foul there. He's down just shy of halfway, right in front of the home support.
Here's Monek. Pressure from Dunlop. Good duel between those two so far. Here's Alan Jerez. Made that short move from Green Gully Reserve to Churchill Reserve. Those two clubs only 2 kilometres apart in Melbourne's northwest, and the flag's up for offside a second time against St Albans over on that far side near the players' race. So Ivan Razimic on that far side there. The judge to have moved too soon. This is Milovanovic, 34-year-old. Handy bit of experience into what is a youthful-looking side. The ball in from Edwards. Oh, it's straight into the breadbasket for Kranovic. No problems at all. Eager to get it going. It ends up back with Edwards again. Maybe he'll try his luck again. There's Peters. And Courtney Perkins is in here. And it's wide. Well, the bench was up and ready to celebrate, and Courtney Perkins' shot was deflected wide. Port Melbourne get the opportunity to get the tall timber forward from a corner kick, but that was a very close call. The Sharks almost opening their account for 2024.
Once again, Emmanuel Peters causing St Albans defence all sorts of headaches. Driving in there in the box, it was taken off his toes by Courtney Perkins. His shot that was aimed for that bottom right corner, taking deflection as a result. Take the short corner. Whipped in there, too heavy and sailing out of play. So crisis averted for now for St Albans. Port Melbourne working their way into this contest nicely. Had a couple of shots on goal to start this first half.
Nick Marinos there. He's very frustrated with the delivery of Dan Edwards there. A couple of times in a row, unable to get the ball anywhere near any of his Port Melbourne teammates. Another easy free header for Milovanovic. Makur, who looks to be operating as a number 6 in front of the back 3. Returning to the club after being out at the Thunder, and a long speculative effort from some distance. There's Alan Jerez, the man who's capable of the spectacular, the Argentine. He's bringing some energy to these Saints on debut this evening here at Port Melbourne. And it's still 0-0. Both teams have had a bit of a look at goal each. Courtney Perkins wasn't far away at all a couple of moments ago for Port Melbourne. Here's Chris Dibb. He's forced to go back. It's a similar game style to that of the Adam Pittick Sharks at the moment at 3-4-3, pressing high up the field, the Sharks, and keeping the St Albans defenders accountable when they're trying to bring the ball forward.
The likes of Merkel Gergic has got the throw here. Had their work cut out for them in this first half. As the ball's pinched there, and now Port Melbourne, Courtney Perkins with the ball at his feet, driving into the box, looking to get onto his left foot. And well defended there, ahead at the back. Max King, I think that was for St Albans. The visitors almost got caught out there as the ball was pinched. And once again, it was Jackson Courtney Perkins.
St Albans got to keep a close look on Courtney Perkins here. He's threatening to break the game open. And he's that kind of player who can, particularly at this level, he can take a game away from you in the blink of an eye. So another chance from the corner kick for Port Melbourne. Jasko Kranovic shielding the afternoon sun from his eyes. Perhaps good benefit from baseball cap. And it comes to the near post area. It was flicked on and it goes wide. Milivanovic was the target. Decent set piece there from the Sharks, but
great delivery there from Stokes. Just what the St Albans side haven't been able to do from their corners or their set pieces so far. Delivered into a dangerous position and almost headed there inside the near post. Gergic. Pass intercepted there by Edwards. Took a deflection and now Peters charging onto it, looking to try and get the ball under control. Goes to ground. Bombachi.
It's almost an awkward bounce for Bombachi there, but in the end, Shalamanov-Trenkov was fast enough out off his line. Speaking of tall keepers, Kranovic 196, Shalamanov-Trenkov, the boy from Brisbane, here via Bulgaria, 195 centimetres as well. So good shot stopping potential, but he had good enough acceleration there when it was required as well. Bit of a midfield scrap. Here's Stokes. Nice switch of play for Dunlop on this picture-perfect surface. J.L. Murphy. Oh, he runs straight into Monek. Monek with no problems, knocking that one out of play and conceding the throw. There's a few spectators still finding their way into the venue here, and a good healthy crowd at J.L. Murphy. Enjoying this one. Need a goal, hasn't come yet. Peters with the spectacular. It was out of play. Had crossed the byline already. That one certainly won't stand for Stokes. St Albans having the better of things in the opening minutes, but at the moment, for me, I'd say Port Melbourne's just shading it on the balance of play in the last 10 minutes or so. Forward by Monek. Bombachi's header hangs in the air, flicked on by Courtney Perkins. Just getting a little bit scruffy out there at the moment. Peters loses possession just as soon as he'd regained it. Peters giving chase. Again, that pressing game. I think Marinos has picked up where Adam Pittick left off there, as we were saying earlier. Here's Razumich. It's a good centre. Looking for Summerskill, who was making the run forward from central midfield. He's one to watch as well for St Albans tonight. Summerskill knows how to find those little half spaces and exploit teams' defences so well. Capable of playing that perfect through ball as well. And I'm sure the new signing, young Divin from Western United, will be looking to benefit from having Summerskill behind him, that Joshua Divin in the number 20 jersey. It's ball forward by Karanovic. Playing the Route 1 football again. Summerskill's ball.
Touch there from Kamaka, forces them back. Dunlop finds himself in a deep position. Mako again. Use some width out wide. Edwards feeds it through. Cleared there, but only as far as the edge of the box. Shot takes a deflection. And Edwards run out to go take the throw. Wasting little time Gets it in for Stokes. Edwards. Heavy touch, easily dealt with there by Gogic. Now Port Melbourne reset. Ivanovic. Abachi, there's some pressure there from Perez. And Leach going through the back of the St Albans player on that occasion.
So just a moment of calm descends across this one after a frenetic few minutes of play. End-to-end football, and the crowd's entertained. Players still finding form and fitness in this early part of the year. In mid-February in Melbourne. Here's Leach. This is Stokes. Outside of the football for Peters, and it's a foot race. And challenged by Dibb, and Peters is still going. He's gone around Karanovic, but Karanovic has recovered. Peters is still there. Oh, and he couldn't find a teammate. What a chance that looked to be. And Emmanuel Peters, can't believe he hasn't scored there, Simon.
Well, great pace to get in behind the defensive line. He had Courtney Perkins flying in through there in support. Opted to go himself, got past the keeper one or two times. Still the attack here through Edwards. Pressing hard for their first goal of the season. Nice little 1-2. Edwards trying to drive a ball in there across the face of goal. Once again, Karanovic well positioned to take the ball.
Edwards is looking dangerous out there, finding plenty of space down that left-hand side. Just trying to land that killer ball, but again, that one straight to Karanovic. Ricabene. Forward by Karanovic. The header is by Bombachi. And the flare from the gaffer there, Nick Marinos. Handy player in his day. In the latter NSL era and VPL. Handy attacker. Ivanovic. Baker's ball forward. This is enterprising play from the Sharks. Edwards is motoring down the left. Peters. Good first touch, but then he showed too much of it to that St Albans defence. And here comes Summerskill running the other way. Good cover from Makur, but he's lost out. Summerskill, and now Razumich. That's a good, intelligent turn. He's got Alan Jerez in the middle, and Summerskill is there, and it's just wide. What a great build-up by St Albans. Their best moment of the game, and they came that close to scoring. Only wide by a whisker of that left-hand upright, and Port Melbourne breathed a sigh of relief.
It was a great little moment there from Brian Summerskill. Managed to weave his way through two Port Melbourne defenders. And a nice little combination between Razumich and Jerez on the right and left flank. And that ball that found Summerskill so very was a St Albans goal, almost against the run of play. Just how quickly things can turn as Jerez comes to collect. Going to take on Dunlop. Skips across. The ball eventually rolling out of play. So St Albans now trying to spend some time with the ball at their feet. A lot of defending in this first half. Set off there by Kalina. Now Dibb. Switch over this left-hand side, too high there for Monic.
Well, some of those scores so far in NPL Victoria round 1 on Thursday night. Harrison Sawyer getting the solitary goal for South Melbourne in their 1-0 win over the Knights, and it was 1-0 also for Green Gully over Moreland City. Green Gully finishing that one with 10 men after Josh Hope was sent off. And another game going the way of the home side was Oakley Cannons 3, the newly promoted Manningham United Blues 0. And the first game to have both teams troubling the scoreboard attendant this afternoon. Avondale 4, Dandenong City 3. A 7-goal thriller that no one saw coming there. And some other matches just underway at the moment over at Paisley Park. Altona Magic against Heidelberg United, and starting a little later at 7 o'clock. Down in the southeast at George Andrews Reserve. Dandenong Thunder and Hume City. Dandenong Thunder, of course, coached by the former Sharks coach who spent a long time here at J.L. Murphy, Adam Piddick. Interesting to see what he can take down to the Thunder this season in 2024. Divin giving chase. Dunlop holding his ground well. The ball's refused to go out of play. As the whistle sounded, it has. 15 all between those two, I think.
So Shalamanov, Trinkov up in a play out from the back. Maka allowed to canter forward. Ivanovic. Stokes gets his head up, looking to spot the run there of Courtney Perkins on the right wing. Too much on that cross. And the fast legs of Jackson Courtney Perkins, unable to reel that ball in.
Well, they put the sprinklers on before the game, but it's a firm track out there, and that ball's certainly going to bounce and keep going, as we saw on that occasion. And we'll get to some of those players waiting in the wings on the substitutes bench tonight for the Port Melbourne Sharks. Aminon Camus, a player who we saw at Moreland City last year. Also Daniel Cutter, previously at the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Lucas Burns, another player coming across from Western United. The sub-keeper, Evan Marco Giannikis. And from Kingston City last season, Andrew Messanuri. So an attacking option there for Port Melbourne on the bench. For St Albans, Adam Hodor, who has been a staple at Churchill Reserve, but spent last year travelling Europe. He's back. Also Jacob Silverain, North Geelong Warriors player of last season. Carter Ramsey, prolific scorer for Eastern Lions last year in NPL2. Also Marco Bulic, sub-keeper. And Johnny Maglaris, the young defender. So those are the options available to the two coaches, Nick Marinos and Ryan McGuffey.
Well, first game of the season, you just wonder how much of an impact those substitutions might have. Some tired legs as we get towards the back end of the second half. Potentially a chance for some of those coming off the pine to leave their mark on this contest. Just over 15 minutes remain in this first half. Ball at the feet of Dunlop. Looks to cut back in, gets past Jerez. Chips it over, looking for Edwards, the far post. Pulls it back under control for Marco Maka. Port Melbourne setting up camp on the edge of the St Albans box. Mbachi got Divin to deal with. Goes over the head of Courtney Perkins. As Leach applied the pressure, now Summerskill heads it down the way of Monek. And once again, Port Melbourne win the ball back with ease. Baker to the feet of Leach. Stokes spinning and finding an option of Maka. Mbachi, heavy touch. Looking to keep on. Tries for a handball. Looking to get it under control. Maka drives the ball in. It's a weak clearance, but eventually at the feet of Michael Gergich. Finds Divin. Stripping the ball there by Lavanic. That's for a shot from range, and the ball was dipping late. As Koranovic watched it over the top of his crossbar.
Well, the boys up front haven't troubled the scoreboard attendant yet, and Dane Milovanovic on club debut, he thought he might try his luck from central defence, and he's playing at the heart of the back three. He wasn't too far away there. The tall figure of Jasko Kranovic was probably never in too much trouble, as Poya Guderian has sounded his whistle for a free kick going the way of Charlie Leach. Player who had a good season at Altona Magic too, on their run to finals football. What a season that was against the odds. No one saw it coming, and he was key to that.
Both these sides started their 2023 campaigns with draws in their opening fixture. No doubt both sides looking to get the full 3 points here this afternoon, and what might read nil on the scoreboard Feel like the goals aren't too far away. Both sides exchanging chances in this first half. The likes of Emmanuel Peters and Jackson Courtney Perkins threatening for the home side, while Jerez and Ryan Summerskill also having chances for the visitors.
Well, I think this has turned into an unofficial drinks break here as the players look to rehydrate after what's been a pretty frenetic first 40 minutes or so. Should I say 30 minutes or so? Thought the time had gone fast, but not quite that fast. Quite hot enough to warrant a cooling break. Certainly a little bit less humid than some of the action we've seen over at the African Cup of Nations.
Must say, Steve, it's a nice change having the sun shining on an NPL clash. NPL fans well and truly accustomed to the cold and miserable conditions that the winter can bring. Both these sides, no doubt, savouring playing under the sunshine.
Certainly those St Albans fans who are gathered over near the Laurie Schwab press room on the far side are enjoying themselves, and they enjoyed that ball roosted out of play by Dano Milovanovic. Here's the throw by the skipper, Gergic. Edwards used all the height he had available to him. Leach is back up on his feet. Fleet-footed central midfielder. Here's Baker. He looked to get back onto his right foot. He goes down the line to Edwards. Bombarchi. This is Dunlop. He's got space to supply the cross here. It's a decent one too. Acrobatics came from Courtney Perkins, but he couldn't wrap the size 10 around that one and cause any harm to Jasko Kranovic's goal. Decent ball in by Dunlop nonetheless.
Well, what a way that would have been to open your account for the 2024 NPL season. St Albans defence doing well to deal with it. Once again, stripped of the ball there in the midfield. They eventually win it back now. Gergic. Sees it back and plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper and Kranovic. He'll loft it out onto that far side. As a result, Daniel Edwards take the throw, looking to get on with things in a hurry. Peters attempted cross going off the back and earning his side a corner. So Ewan Stokes will make his way over. His first corner from that very same position was a dangerous one, almost headed in at the near post. We'll see what he can deliver here for the home side here. Stokes looking for some tall timber. Whips it across and got a fingertip to it. Koranovic out of the path of Makamaka, who was waiting there at the far post. Once again, the height of the goalkeeper shown in full effect for St Albans as they dealt with what was a tricky little corner there from Ewan Stokes.
A crucial intervention. If he didn't get a piece of that, they were queuing up for it at the back post. Dunlop's ball in towards the front post area, flicked on by Peters. And again, it's routine for Koranovic, who was about to try and launch a quick counter-attack. Oh, and he's turned it over here to Peters. And on the overlap, appeals for handball. St Albans make the clearance. Here's Diven with the swivel. He's got Alan Jerez galloping forward to his left, but he can't find him. And the Argentine is left frustrated. Port Melbourne look to come the other way through Courtney Perkins. Peters in the middle. Perkins. Courtney Perkins' ball was straight to Koranovic. Here's Summerskill looking to switch the play out to the right-hand side. This is Razumich. He's got Baker to beat. Ivan Razumich looking to get to the byline, and he does just that. Ball across. He's blocked behind for a St Albans corner kick. End-to-end stuff here midway through the first half at J.L. Murphy Reserve.
Well, on two occasions there, Alan Jerez was on his lonesome on the verge of the penalty area, unable to get the service delivered to him. Once again, they're looking dangerous down that right wing, St Albans. Ivan Razumich has made a couple of dangerous runs as he tried to whip a ball in there off the right foot. See what they can deliver from this corner here.
Well, it will be the left-footed James Riccobene, the central defender, to try and cause a bit of chaos here. With the ball in, with the goalkeeper looking straight into the sun. He gets enough on it. I don't think he saw much of that either. Shalmanov Trinkov. Back in by Jerez to the top of the box. That's well away by Milivanovic. Up in the air by Monek, a real rainmaker. Level at land. Gergic has stayed forward. He scored in this fixture at this ground last year. What a free kick that was, by the way. And his summer skill loading up. And a good save by Shalmanov Trinkov to deny him. Another bright moment for the St Albans Saints as Dynamo chant is in full voice on the far side of the pitch here. The St Albans fans enjoying their trip from Melbourne's northwest at the moment.
Yeah, once again, Summerskill loading up from distance. The shot was on target. It forced the good save from the new recruit for Port Melbourne. And just in the past 5 minutes or so, the visitors beginning to mount some pressure on the home side. Plenty of depth in this set piece as the St Albans players look to make their way forward. You find a tall target, whips it in. So without there at the back. Brought down and the shot comes, but once again, Port Melbourne players there getting there in numbers. Monek. Monek wins himself a throw. Summerskill looking to bring it to his feet. Heavy contact there as he hit the deck. It was unconventional once again. St Albans earn themselves a corner.
Port Melbourne Sharks currently getting plenty of practice defending these corner kicks. Another one from the right-hand side again to be delivered by Summerskill. Gets it past Leach and into Jerez. Bouncing awkwardly. Polina couldn't bring it under control. Peters on the charge again. Gets past Razumich. Plays it inboard. Courtney Perkins. Edwards. This is a good build-up by the Sharks. Hangs in the air. And again, Riccobene showing his experience with the defensive effort. Oh, was that a bit of a shove on Courtney Perkins? This will be a handy position too for the free kick. Courtney Perkins, just a little nudge in the back. Right near the top of the D. And it's going to be all hands to the pump here for St Albans to set up the wall. And full concentration required by Jasko Kranovic as Nick Marinos, who is on his top-tier coaching debut today, is getting a bit of a talking to by fourth official Hugo Arslan for a bit of, well, what can we say, fruity language a moment ago, Simon?
Yeah, certainly riding every moment of this first half at the helm. Great chance for his side here. Free kick from a dangerous position. Courtney Perkins brought down as he was looking to wind up for the shot. St Albans looking to sort their wall out for the first time. Golden opportunity here for Port Melbourne. Goes low and hard and it forces a great save there from Karanovic. Ball whipped back in across. Looking to take it on the half volley and sends it high up into the skyline. This kind of ball's always tricky to get under control. Try and let it dip as low as possible for the defence. Verges on you.
Even the taller figure in Milivanovic, who is about the tallest outfield player out there, couldn't get his foot over the top half of that volley. Giving the Pine Trees a bit of a workout behind the northern end goal at the J.L. Murphy. So it's the goalkeepers and still the heroes of this match so far, as it remains 0-0 in the shadows of half-time. Steve Curtin and Simon Rathbone with you. Round 1, NPL Victoria, season 2024, Saturday evening football from JL Murphy Reserve. Courtney Perkins and Peters. Peters on debut, going close a couple of times for the Sharks, and Brian Summerskill has been a constant threat at the other end, coming out of midfield and firing a couple of shots on the goal of Shalmanov-Trinkov.
Well, like you touched on, it's the two goalkeepers that have probably been the stars of this first half. Both shot stoppers coming out, some nice saves. Ivanovic had 9 clean sheets to his name, and came with a nice save there to deny Port Melbourne just shy of half-time. Summerskill looks to whip it on with speed. Jerez, down the left wing. Looking to dance past Dunlop. Leach came across to block the attempted cross. Monek gets it back. And Courtney Perkins finds himself all the way back in defence. Leach drives it down along the line. Plenty of pressure here from St Albans, not letting Port Melbourne work themselves out of trouble with ease. Summerskill's ball tipping across the turf. Ivanovic tried to bring it to ground. Now Maka. Courtney Perkins. On this right-hand side once again. Courtney Perkins looking to feed it through there for Peters. Just getting their wires crossed on that occasion. Jerez shows plenty of the ball, still with it at his feet. Tries to flick it through there for Diven.
Diven and the new signing in Alan Harris unable to combine yet. Just exchange a high five and promise to keep going and looking for each other. They quite be on the same page on a couple of occasions, but going about it the right way, one would think, in their counter-attacking style of play, getting the ball going forward quickly, and it's often 2v4 when they do gain possession and try and go quickly. Dunlop was the late inclusion into the starting 11 after Ethan Brooks, the new signing from Pascoe Vale in NPL 2, was named originally. Hasn't featured in the starting 11. Here's Makur in the centre of JL Murphy with a raking switch of play. Dunlop right in front of his manager, unable to keep it in play. Here's Monek coming up to take the throw. He's sort of been pinned back. He's a very good delivery. Got a very good delivery with that left foot as well. It'd be good to see him maybe get forward and supply some crosses into that central area, but such as the counter-attacking style of play, he's not really had too many opportunities to gallop forward down the outside of Alan Jerez and do so.
So an extra 2 minutes add on to the back end of this first half. So enough chance for either side to land their first decisive blow. St Albans whips a dangerous ball. It evaded the outstretched reach of Shalmanov-Trinkov. As Edwards tries to win it back here for Port Melbourne. Stokes comes in to help out. Now with Leach. Jostling forward. Peters lays it off for Courtney Perkins. Trying to link back up with Peters once again, but well covered out there at the back by Riccobeni.
Well, that was a decent ball in by young Max King just before there. And not for the first time we've seen the 21-year-old Ilya Shalmanenkov-Trinkov coming out for the punch and not making it. Fortunately for him, there was no one lurking at the back post to nod the ball into the back of the net in the shadows of half-time. We're now awaiting the whistle from referee Puya Guderian to send the players back into the dressing rooms for half-time. And this says time for one last attack. But it seems that Michael Gergic, the St Albans skipper, is intent on slowing things down here.
9 years of experience being shown here by the St Albans skipper. I think his side too happy, wouldn't be too phased with the 0-all. They've had a couple of chances of their own, but they've done a fair bit of defending in this first half. Port Melbourne probably having the best of the chances. But some of the lively youngsters up front for St Albans, the likes of Jerez and Divant, have shown on the fast break how dangerous they can be. And 0-0 it reads at half-time here at JL Murphy Reserve between the Port Melbourne Sharks and the St Albans. Both sides make their way in the sheds for a much-earned break. And we'll take a break ourselves. We'll be back with all the second half action very shortly.
Hello and welcome back to JL Murphy Reserve NPL Victoria season 2024. Round 1 clash between Port Melbourne and St Albans, locked at 0-0 after an exciting end-to-end first half. This match is sure to open up and become a fascinating fixture in the second 45 after the defences won out before half-time. We're looking forward to an exciting second 45 ourselves as well. Myself, Steve Curtin, and welcome back to the broadcast position, Simon Rathbone.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Both sides, they had their chances in the first half, just unable to find the decisive blow. As we touched on in the pre-game, Port Melbourne, this is a vastly different outfit to what we saw last season. And just feel those new combinations taking their time to gel in the midfield, and that clinical finishing up front. We'll see if they can put together the puzzle pieces in this second half. Well, for St Albans showed on the counter-attack especially, they can quickly catch out the Port Melbourne defence. That's Jerez, Summerskill, all threatening at different stages. Both sides looking to kick off their 2024 campaigns in the best possible fashion with the full 3 points right here.
And as you mentioned there, Simon, at support Melbourne side, if you have just joined us, 8 new faces in the starting 11 from last year. Mainly Jackson, Courtney Perkins, Dan Edwards, and Christian Bombarchi in there from last year. Bombarchi wearing the captain's armband tonight, playing on the right-hand side of the back three. It is a 3-4-3, so there's no system change for Port Melbourne from last year. And here's Charlie Leach, one of the new signings, combining with Stokes. And here's Edwards looking to get at the St Albans skipper Michael Gergich. Plays it into the feet of Peters. Back to goal. Makur trying to spread it laterally, but he couldn't find Dunlop on that far side. Here's Bombarchi on the halfway line. As the sun sets over Port Phillip Bay on this picture-perfect Melbourne afternoon, around 27 degrees. And the fans enjoying this match. A slight breeze coming in off the bay, but perfect conditions for spectators and pretty decent for the footballers too, as Baker puts this ball into the back post area. It's away by Monek. Alan Jerez giving chase, but Makur got there first. Courtney Perkins with the back heel. That was crafty. Dunlop, can he get to the byline and cut this one across? It's Peters! And Jasko Kranovic comes up big when it mattered most. Another good look for Emmanuel Peters, but the new signing, again, unable to open his account in the early stages of this second 45. The match remains locked at 0-0.
Well, what a lively start from Port Melbourne. Flying out of the gates. Emmanuel Peters, a golden opportunity. What a way that would have been to start the second half. He brought it down off his chest. Just losing control of it at the pivotal moment. Kranovic coming out to make himself big, doing enough to make the save. What a crucial moment that could be in this contest. So let's get away with one and look to work themselves into this second half with the ball at their feet. Gergich lofts it long. Stokes. He's got Edwards drifting forward. 360 with 4. Chipping it over there for Courtney Perkins. Jerez. Summerskill. All the way back to Gergich. Dibb drives it forward. Summerskill looking to use his body to shield the ball.
Oh, what a good first touch by Summerskill, but couldn't make it count for anything in the end after he'd done all the hard work as well. Holding off his opponent. And an almost magnetic first touch, but then just needlessly giving away possession to the young goalkeeper, Ilya Shalmanov-Trinkov, who's had an eventful afternoon, but as it stands, he's on track for a clean sheet on debut, the 21-year-old. Ball in by Edwards to the back post. This is Dunlop. It's away by Monek. This field getting closer to someone breaking the deadlock in this one. That's a good first touch by Stokes, who's enjoying himself in the early moments out there on JL Murphy of this second 45. Peters, again, back to goal. Rolls it in the path of Stokes, and Kranovic had to be on his toes again there, and he was.
Yeah, once again, Peters, Stokes combining there. And once again, Koranovic having to come out and make the save. So it's been Port Melbourne have had the most of the opportunities in the early exchange of the second 45. And Peters put himself in the right place at the right time and almost laid it off there for Stokes, who came and put his boot through the ball as he now lines up. Assist from the corner. Stokes whips it in the near post. Dealt with there by Monik. Stokes once again tries to chip it over the top there, and eventually with a rugby tackle brings his divot out there to ground.
Well, I thought that might have been our first yellow card of the evening, but Puya Gadirian at the moment will be able to go home without doing any extra paperwork at the end of this match at about 8 p.m. local time tonight. Big hello to everyone watching the stream. We are back live again this season on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. People tuning in from Melbourne, around Victoria, around Australia, and around the world as far as Greece and Croatia, over there by the Mediterranean and Adriatic. Good morning to you, and hope you're enjoying this match as Stokes, the Irishman, playing it into the path of Peters, who's got the pace, but not enough pace to truck down that ball as Ricky Bene was able to play it back to Koranovic. Divin was the target of that one, but double teamed by Milanovic and Baker. A couple of new signings in that back three, and also features Bombaci. Here's Baker, playing not on his natural side. Striding forward, looking for options. Stokes, he's out on the touchline. The aqua and purple boots as well for Owen Stokes. Not a bad look. Don't think I could pull that one off myself, Simon.
So Port Melbourne just playing it out from the back at the moment. They've got a whole possession for the time being. Baker tries to use the speed of Peters, looking to bring it in, but over it goes, and it'll be a St Albans throw. Gergic making his way over now.
Feel the tension increasing over here on the broadcast side, at least. It's the decisive moment in this match, just around the corner perhaps. Here's Gergic with the captain's armband on the left bicep, sending it down the line. And he really is Mr. Fix-It. He can play anywhere needed in this St Albans team. Right back today, but often playing as the number 6 in defensive midfield, or further forward even as an 8, and he can play in central defence as well. And if St Albans can manage to get themselves a free kick in a handy position, well, we saw what he did at this venue last year. Pulled something right out of the top drawer to give St Albans hope, but this fixture the last 3 times has resulted in the Sharks getting all 3 points. It's a long time ago since St Albans got something out of this match back in February 2022, and who was on the score sheet that day? Aside from Port Melbourne's Chris Duggan, of course, it was Captain Fantastic Michael Gergic. Switch of play by Chelina for Razimic. Gergic in for options. Chelina with the first time ball. Razimic and Chelina not on the same page. The 2 number 12s give chase down to the byline, and Baker's going to escort this one over the byline.
We've seen St Albans look to use their width and go long with the aerial pursuit on a number of occasions in this contest already, looking to use the speed of the likes of Razimic and Jerez. On that occasion, Baker doing well to get back, just shield out. As Port Melbourne look to work forward. Dunlop moving his way through traffic. Courtney Perkins brings it to ground as Peters sets sail for the ball, looking to use his big frame to win possession. And actually, Summerskill comes back to assist for St Albans.
St Albans just unable to really trouble the Port Melbourne defence since the half-time break. In the 5 minutes or so since they've come back out from the dressing room. Port Melbourne having the better of balance of play Jasko Kranovic called into action a couple of times, but still unable to break the deadlock despite some good chances to the likes of Emmanuel Peters. Now here's Leach popping up on the left-hand side. Puts the ball into the front post area. Was away by Dibb. Hangs in the air. Gergic and Edwards do battle. And sliding challenge there. Fully committed by Michael Gergic. And it's going to be another corner. That brings us to about 5 apiece. Corner kick side as the breeze off the bay just increases a little bit. It's blowing from the grandstand side across to our broadcast position. So this corner kick from Stokes will hang up and hold up into the breeze. Kranovic looking to command his penalty area as in it comes. Enter the near post and Leach with a volley. Away by Dibb. Plenty behind the ball for St Albans again. Stokes. Can the Irishman conjure up here on debut for the Sharks? One way, then the other, and then hangs it. Teasing cross in, well punched away by Kranovic. The cavalry was lurking at the back post. Here's Dunlop. Gets it around King. Gergic went to ground and come up with the football at his toes. Here's Jerez. Galloping down the left-hand side. Makur and the long legs. Employed to full effect there to knock that one out of play.
Once again, you see St Albans looking to shift it quickly on the counter-attack after dealing with that Stokes corner. He was trying to get past Makur on that occasion, unable to do so, but they retain possession. Chelina. Gergic. Courtney Perkins to deal with, tries one from range, falls kindly here for Jerez. Jerez looking to chip the keeper off the right foot. Almost fell favourably there for the Argentine.
Catch that one again on the replay, but I think that shot took everyone by surprise from Michael Gergic on the left foot, hitting one of his teammates in the head, which almost provided an assist for Alan Harris. What a turn of events that would have been. Now at the other end, Courtney Perkins was lurking, and it wasn't for the interception by Michael Gergic. He may have been able to nod that one home to open his account for the season. Courtney Perkins on the score sheet in the league 4 times last season. He's loomed large a couple of times in the first half of this one, but unable to trouble the scorers. Hoiked forward by Summerskill. Nice first touch by Ivanovic. The oohs and the ahs of the crowd in front of us. Here's Baker. Good angle on the pass. Decent first touch by Edwards, who drills it in at the near post. Presume that was meant to be a cross, but well, that was probably going in. If not, probably, definitely needing the save from Kranovic to turn it behind for a corner kick.
Once again, Kranovic's busy afternoon continues. Called into action right there as Edwards tried to whip a ball across, and once again, Stokes, familiar position. He's got Edwards as an option short. Opts to Kerwin in at the near post. Only as far as Leach. He could bring it down to his left foot. Feeds it forward for Stokes. Driving along the byline. There's Diven coming back there in defence. Big man with the defensive duties for the visitors on that occasion.
He threw himself to the ground there, and fortunately for St Albans, Stokes didn't trip over the outstretched leg because Diven might have been in a bit of trouble there. No harm done though, and St Albans are going to play the long and direct option again. It will be Josh Diven, the former Western United NPL player, will be the target of this long ball, no doubt. Driven forward by Kranovic. Diven does well to flick that one on. Razumich is the target of the next ball. The second ball, and Baker's header ended up favouring the Saints, and it's going to be a throw in right down near the corner post here to be taken by Summerskill. As you can see, the St Albans subs, they're warming up there, ready for action. No changes to either side since kick-off. Perhaps it could be one of the substitutes to come on and break the game open. A game that really needs a goal. It's had almost everything else off the chest of Summerskill. I'm not sure if that was voluntary, but it's out for a goal kick.
course, got the under-23s to take the field after this game concludes here this evening at JL Murphy Reserve. The youngsters from the two respective clubs got a chance to show what they're made of in the early parts of the season.
Very good youth systems at both of these two clubs as well. Some of the best in the state, if not the country. Port trying to turn the screws here. Stokes, no way through. Christopher Dibb playing the blanket, but Courtney Perkins might be able to find a way through himself here. And Stokes' attempt is blocked. All hands to the pump for St Albans here. Port Melbourne getting closer and closer to that opening goal. That may be all it takes. Port Melbourne last season finding the back of the net 51 times. St Albans just 24 times. Certainly finding a consistent goal scorer has been an issue for St Albans in recent years. Not so much for the Sharks, as this one's floated to the back post area. Rising highest was Dane Milovanovic. Dunlop under pressure from Jerez. Alan Jerez, an interesting one, getting the start today. So often having to wait, biding his time and come off the bench at Green Gully last year. Still managing to score 4 times last season from 26 involvements in the matchday squad.
So that initial frantic start to this second half, just subduing slightly as both sides lead into their work in this second half as Dunlop brings it down that far wing. Almost has it poked free by Jerez. Makamaka. Peters trying to twist and spin his way through. Well defended on that occasion, and once again, St Albans clear their lines. Diven trying to bring it under control. Heads it forward. Divens. He's got 2 to beat. He's all out and he's lonesome there on the far side. Josh Diven pulls it back. Whips the ball across. Looking to find Razumich. And getting back there was Daniel Edwards for the home side. Once again, St Albans looking dangerous as they look to break with speed. It was a nice little moment there from the youngster Josh Diven.
Probably their best opportunity this second half so far, and Diven's still full of running, even if 1 or 2 of the players out there looking just a little bit leggy. As we tick past the hour mark in this one. Always a tough challenge in round 1. Warm conditions as well. 27 degrees in Melbourne this afternoon. Some of these players just starting to show a few signs that the petrol tank is emptying.
You never quite know what to expect in a round 1 fixture. All it reads at the moment, you just feel as though the goals aren't too far away. As the fatigue sets in for both sides, opportunities begin to arise.
Good defence, Ricky Benner. You had to be strong there because Peters was charging through. If he had got past, he would have been just about one-on-one with Koranovic. Looks like we're going to see the first change of the evening as well, with another new face being thrusted into the action. Daniel Cutler, the number 7, South African-born Queenslander, 22 years of age, from the sunny coast. Wait to see who will be the player sacrificed for Nick Marinos' side. Here's Courtney Perkins. Baker looking for options ahead of him. Courtney Perkins is the target. Showed too much of it with the first touch to Michael Gergich, whose sliding challenge did the trick. We'll see that first change now, Simon.
Just see what impact Cutler can have off the substitution bench for the home side as they look to try and find some finishing ability up front. So Port Melbourne to make the first change of this contest. Butler enters the fray. at the expense of Emmanuel Peters, who had some nice moments in the first half especially. Just couldn't quite find that finishing piece. Corner coming up here for Port Melbourne. Whips it in the far post. Maka bobbling around. Some slight miscommunication there between the goalkeeper and his defender. All bobbling around in the box. And eventually it'll work out for a goal kick.
It looked like it was Max King who was on the far post. Something you see less and less in the modern game. Players marking the post, but almost a miscommunication between he and Kranovic. But once again on the counter-attack, St Albans, this is their route to goal. The ball in by Alan Jerez. And it was a good run through the lines. Brian Summerschool making that run beyond the striker. Timing it very well. The ball didn't make it to his outstretched feet to trouble Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov, who's been a spectator for most of this second half. He will be happy with a clean sheet. Coming in from CSKA Sofia's second team, most recently in Bulgaria's second tier. Turned by Cholina. Still he goes with the ball. Couldn't quite find Josh Diven. Makur. All the way back. Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov gets 2 touches in as many seconds. And a big hello to everyone tuning in again all around the state. Victoria enjoying this match. One of the great innovations that we've seen this season. We'll just pause that thought because the new signing could be in here. Courtney Perkins. Oh, Kranovic is out of position completely. And Chris Dibb to the rescue. Well, it was almost a bright moment for Daniel Cutler, the new signing. Only been on the field for a couple of moments. And then Courtney Perkins had opened up for him. Kranovic hopelessly out of position. And now on the counter-attack, Josh Diven. Running at Milovanovic, who kept his eye on the ball. Concedes the corner kick. Once again, end-to-end stuff. It's frenetic at JL Murphy, Simon.
Yeah, well, golden opportunity there for the home side. Kranovic came off his lines, couldn't get the ball, left himself in no man's land. Port Melbourne just unable to add that finishing touch. They had the open net to try and find. And once again, St Albans, once Dibb took that ball away, they went down through Josh Diven. He did a good job of stretching that Port Melbourne defence and almost turning defence into attack. And they've got a quarter coming up here. Puts it in the near post. Cleared there by Edwards. Comes back in and easy collect there for Shalamanov-Trinkov. Wastes little time in releasing it there on the far side. Dunlop unable to reel that ball in. Gergic copping a knock there as he cleared that ball away. So still no yellow cards as of yet in this contest.
Looks like we're about to see another former Western United youngster, Lucas Burns, the new Port Melbourne midfielder. He's being ready to come on to the field of play. Here's Courtney Perkins, who's looking very dangerous again out there in the last couple of minutes. Headed by Makur. Milovanovic. This is Edwards. Good little combination. Oh, the first touch was a bit heavy. Oh, and so was that as well by Dibb, but he makes up for it well. Gergic. Oh, using his experience there and winning the foul against Charlie Leach, who lunged in from behind. Will we see that change at this break in play, or perhaps the next? So one of the great innovations we've seen this season is another club adding to the growing list of clubs with their own production of a podcast or a vlog. And Dynamo TV has been a fantastic inclusion to the footballing news scene so far this season. So well done to everyone involved at St Albans for making that happen. And a big hello to the host of that show, Tonchi Prusak, tuning in tonight in Lara. And also hello to Joel tuning in East Geelong. I hope everyone is enjoying the return to the YouTube streams for this season in NPL Victoria and around the grounds as well. We've just got word that there is a score in the match at Paisley Park, and it's the visitors, Heidelberg United, have taken the lead 1-0 through Yokokawa.
How's the strength there from Josh Diven, just muscling the opposition off the ball. And Summerskill sets flight down on this right-hand side, looking to find a teammate. Looks to cut back in, and well dealt with there by Milovanovic. Kept his cool under pressure as Summerskill looked to set himself off to the races.
It's a good point you make there as well, Simon. Just 19 years of age, but already with the real physical presence out there. More so than that of players much his senior. He looks like a top prospect. Really good sighting for the St Albans Saints for me. We're looking forward to seeing their new signing from Warrington in England, Scott Backer, but he's not out there today. They're also missing Zelfi Nazari. Another signing from the Bendigo Amateur Soccer League, Shepparton and South's league best and fairest and golden boot winner of last season, Nicholas Maury. No relation to Damien, I'm told. He's not in the matchday squad either today.
So Ewan Stokes making way for Port Melbourne as Burns enters the fray. Melbourne got a corner to deal with right here. Summerskill goes short in pursuit of Jerez. Now Edwards onto Burns, looking for his first touch. Heavy contact coming across there, Riccobeni. And the first yellow card of the contest for James Riccobeni as he came in. And Port Melbourne looked to try and get on with it quickly. Told to go back by the referee.
Puya Gadiri and our match referee, you've done well to be able to avoid getting the cards out so far in this round one fixture, but he had no choice there. That was an agricultural one from James Riccobeni on his St Albans debut. What a way to go out it was as well, winning the grand final in some style last season in his Avondale swan song. Great campaign for a number of seasons that he'd had there, also with his brother Phil. Here's Cholina, forced to go all the way back, and there was trouble there because Cutler was charging in and closing down Karanovic at a rate of knots. Forced to just weak that one out towards the baseball diamond to our left.
Edwards opts to go all the way back and now at the feet of Shaimanov-Trenkov. Once again, looking to reset through Alex Barker on this left-hand side. Skips past Summerskill. Edwards feeds it through. Courtney Perkins on pursuit. Looks to cut back in Gergic. Gergic uses his body to shield the ball, but his clearance only goes as far as Mako. Leach. Goes Edwards' way once again. Leach, Mako. Leach. The edge of the box. Leach off the right foot and almost curls it in at the far post. And it just skidded along the ground, causing all sorts of problems for Karanovic. A fine effort there from the new recruit from Altona.
Well, that was eye-catching play. The combination there from Leach and Makur and the West Aussie, Charlie Leach, wasn't far away. And what a goal that would have been. Perfect view of it here from our broadcast position. I know that you'll be enjoying the footage at home as well, with Matt from Sportscast Australia behind the camera giving you the best look at this one, even despite the setting sun, behind the Port Melbourne Soccer Club club rooms on the far side, doing its best to disrupt our pitches. Port Melbourne trying to turn the screws a bit here, but again away by Gergic, making the clearance for what feels like the umpteenth time this afternoon. Here's Dunlop's ball in. It's away off the knee or the thigh of Riccobeni there. Feels for a handball. Play waved on. And eventually the flag goes up for offside.
So the two substitutes, Lucas Burns and Cutler, looking to make their impact felt in this contest. Pushing forward there for the home side. The score still locked at 0-0. As we're heading towards the back end of this contest, this round one fixture. Need to see if there's a twist in the tail as we come down the stretch. Leach is at a fine few minutes. Skips free of Diven. Chip it forward for Courtney Perkins. And once again, Gergich mopping up at the back. Clearance only goes as far as Baker. Macker looking to release Dunlop. Pulls it down onto his right boot. Dangerous ball in. Courtney Perkins trying to get his head to it. Chalina clears. Summerskill lofts it high up in the air. Diven sets chase. He's got Baker to deal with. Diven wins the initial battle. Brings it to ground. Looking to skip past Baker. Baker gets up on the inside. And Diven will win a corner for himself and his team. So Alex Baker has had his work cut out for him with Josh Diven on that right-hand side in the second half. And now St Albans to make their first substitution. Adam Hodor entering the fray.
Good to see Adam Hodor back out there for St Albans, a player that really gives his all for the cause and the colours of St Albans week in, week out after a year off travelling last year. Also, not a handy player at the Aussie rules style of football as well, but good to have him playing the World Game here in NPL Victoria. And it'll be a secondary corner. Summerskill's delivery just a little bit short, a couple of times in a row as well, Simon, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get this one maybe over that back post area. Here it comes again. Gergich was the target, but it was away by Macker. What can Port Melbourne offer on the break here? Cutler loses possession. Summerskill mops up the crumbs. Little reverse angled pass to Gergich, who'd stayed forward from the corner kick, but he hadn't stayed in an onside position. Down at George Andrews Reserve, Dandenong Thunder have opened their account against Hume City. They're a goal to the good there, so we've got goals everywhere else, but we're just waiting on that first goal here. Let's not be too far away now.
Once again, Port Melbourne persist with building up from this left-hand channel. Burns. Drive his way goal side. Leach on his right foot. Leach tries to curl into that right top corner. And for the second time of asking, the ball just going wide. Charlie Leach almost getting his name onto the goal-scoring sheet. He had the time and space to get the shot away before he was shut down.
Well, that was probably a better look than his previous shot too, where he went for the shot along the ground, not the subterranean, but at least at ground level. That one, the aerial assault on Kranovic's goal, but it was a little bit high and wide when there was a bit of open net gaping on that top right-hand corner, and he couldn't find it when it mattered the most. Nonetheless, Charlie Leach, he looks like he's a player who's still full of running when a lot of other players just slowing down a touch. Got no doubt he'd be the kind of player who'd run a pretty mean beep test at training.
Well, like you touched on, the fitness of the players put to the test here. Both sides still pushing for that decisive goal. How much have they got left in the tank as we continue to go down the stretch? Just over 10 minutes remain in this second half.
It was a strong header by Milovanovic there, but after a slight pause, Poya Gadirian, our match referee, has sounded the whistle, and opportunity from the set piece for St Albans perhaps to send some of the tall timber forward, as we see Chris Dibb and Michael Gergich doing just that. Shalmanov-Trenkov organising his defenders. Concentration required here. They're certainly having the best of this second half, but they can't afford to have a lapse in concentration at this point in time. Heading towards the final 10 minutes, it could be fatal. It's going to be Summerskill with the delivery. Gergich will be the target at the back post area. He couldn't find him.
Easy pickings there for Shalmanov-Trenkov. Still had to do his job and be clean in securing the football, with Gergich lurking and around. Port Melbourne work it forward. Milvanovic. Dunlop. Looking to feed it through. Challenge there at the back there by Monic.
Fast feet from Burns there. He looks like a very quick customer. Winning that free kick. Handy position too here for Port Melbourne.
So both teams exchanging set pieces from dangerous positions. Before that set piece can occur though, looks as though Port Melbourne will make another change. Andrew Mazzarini looking to make his way onto the field, and it's Charlie Leach making way.
Oh, commentator's curse there, Simon. We just said he looked like he was still full of running. Well, his night is done. Opportunity now for the 22-year-old. Kingston City in the NPL2 last season. 3 goals for him in 23 matches. Yes, looks like to be Edwards with the left-footed delivery. Karanovic could have caught that perhaps, but sun in the eyes, decided to punch it away. Take a chance. And by Milivanovic, away by Rikabene, only partially in the volley. Can only be parried by Karanovic. And a big moment for Port Melbourne. Able to convert, and Karanovic hanging on to that clean sheet by the skin of his teeth.
So the chances just beginning to flow with more regularity now for the home side. Once again, Karanovic having to come up with a big save. Just to punch the ball from the set piece, and it left the door just slightly ajar. Did well to deal with it in the end, and a foul as they look to break. Karanovic will march upfield and look to loft this long. It's for the Chester Summerskill, who's pushed off it there by Dunlop. Easy side a throw in. Now Carter Ramsey prepares to make his way into the game. So the substitutions entering the game as we come in towards the final 10 minutes of this second half. Fresh legs looking to make an impact. Looks as though it's Josh Diven to make way. Showed some bright glimpses at times in this second half. The youngster from Western United.
Well, Carter Ramsey was a player that when I looked at the team, I had drafted him into the first 11 for this one. He's had to come off the bench, so a good season for him at Eastern Lions last year. Prolific in front of goal, finishing in the top 5 scorers in the Chaos competition. And what can he offer here in the final few minutes? He's going to have to bide his time before he gets a touch, because Makur is driving the ball in the other direction and winning a corner for Port Melbourne. Ryan McGuffey just having a quick word with 4th official Nuga Arslan as Daniel Edwards prepares to deliver the in-swinging corner. Everyone back in defence apart from Alan Jerez. And it's allowed to bounce in the 6-yard box off the line. Cutler on the follow-up into a sea of bodies. Hard to find a way through there, and it's smacked forward by Cholina. Headed by Baker. Real pressure from Alan Jerez, and that one is onto the baseball diamond, Simon.
Yeah, Alex Baker taking no chances as he kicked that over the sideline. The new ball will have to be brought in from the far side now.
Alex Baker is a player, he's had more clubs than Tiger Woods in recent years. Spent last season at both Dandenong Thunder and also at Bentley Greens. A bit of a stint at Western United as well, and then previously Ballarat. Monek stepping inside, and forced go all the way back to Karanovic. Ryan McGuffey just running through a few scenarios with Josh Diven as to what he can try and work on next game, but looks like he's impressed with the young Charger, what he offered today. Good interception by Hodor. Almost showed too much of the ball to Edwards. Found Gergic though, his summer skill. Can St Albans find a bit of momentum here. Cholina with the turn. Runs into trouble though. Play on is the call from Puya Guderian, and Makur is increasingly finding himself in advanced positions. Ball forward by King. Gergic. Cholina. A bit of a spell of possession here for the boys in the all grey. New St Albans away uniform. Harris trying to win a foul. Again, nothing doing. Puya Guderian letting the game flow, and he's had a good match so far. Man in the middle. Rooney, a kid from Kingston, on the turn. Oh, he almost found Courtney Perkins.
So the pressure just intensifying for both sides. Looking to find a late winner here. Neither side able to trouble the scorers as of yet. It's round 1 NPL men's clash. Milivanovic to let it go. It had to be mopped up there by Baker. And then they try the attempt from range. Not troubling Shalamanov-Trenkov on that occasion. Baker to bring it forward. The pressure applied by Carter Ramsey. It'll be at St Albans' throw from the touchline. Gergic into Summerskill. Looks up and tries to find Jerez on that far side. Intercepted by Mbachi. Courtney Perkins was on the deck, and Jerez finds himself in a sea of red and blue, and eventually the ball spills out. And a heavy challenge coming forward. Falls kindly for Carter Ramsey. Cuts in to his left foot. Looking to feed it through, and a crucial interception there by Baker. Summerskill can't wrestle free of the challenge. It was Cutler that applied it. And Cholina goes all the way back to Gergic. Carter Ramsey will be called offside.
Well, into the last 5 minutes of normal time here at JL Murphy. We're desperate for a goal, but we can't find one, no matter how hard we've tried this evening. Still plenty of time left for either side, if they're good enough. Ball forward looking for Courtney Perkins, and his volley is saved by Karanovic at point-blank range. I don't know how much Karanovic knew about that one, but full credit to him for positioning his body in the correct place at the right time there to preserve this 0-0 scoreline. Another good look for Courtney Perkins. Jackson Courtney Perkins. He was one of the players who was on target in their last win, a 4-0 win in round 26 at this venue. And the other three players who scored that day, no longer at the club. Regag, Duggan, Cessnick, all moved on in the off-season. This new look Shark side, they've been honest and they've been solid today, but they haven't found a way through this St Albans' dogged defence.
Yeah, showing glimpses of brilliance, just unable to add the finishing product. As he touched on Karanovic, coming up with some big saves. As Lucas Burns was brought down there, just on the edge of the box. So a dangerous free kick coming up. Burns has had a few bright moments since entering the field a few minutes ago. And a yellow card shown. So it's Milivanovic with Edwards standing over it. It's just under 3 minutes remaining. Could this be the decisive moment for the home side, looking to collect the full 3 points here this afternoon?
Well, Milivanovic is capable of hitting absolute rockets. Puya Guderian saying, "Wait for my whistle," as he asked for as the wall was marched back 10 yards. It's a pretty healthy 10 yards as well, as far as our position here appears anyway. And it will be Milivanovic, punched away by Karanovic. Away by King. Ramsey. He couldn't find Monek. Here's Burns. Flinging that cross into the top of the box. Couldn't quite find Cutler, who was lurking towards the back post area. Headed by Milovanovic. Makur. This is Rooney. And he's won another free kick for the Sharks. So set piece opportunities continuing to fall in the way in favour of the Sharks late in this one.
Yeah, Max King, the guilty party on that occasion. Just bringing his opposition to ground. Just how crucial could these set pieces be? With some tired legs out there, Port Melbourne, they haven't been able to find a way in open play. Golden opportunity here. Burns and Edwards standing over it. Edwards to take. Looking to chip it through. Weak clearance there from St Albans. And now Edwards back on the ball once again. Looking to find a late winner, looks to whip it in. Well defended out there by Hodor. Stuck a right boot out. And now an Edwards throw-in coming up. Courtney Perkins finds himself trapped in a corner. He's got two St Albans players to deal with. Gergich. Courtney Perkins weaves his way through. Still going, Courtney Perkins. Looking to find a teammate, eventually cleared by Gergich. Baker looking to win the header. Cutler looking to bring it under control. Dunlop, some room to move. Twisting, spinning. Weaving his way through the St Albans defence. And his attempted cross intercepted there by Summerskill, who sends it high in the sky with 4 minutes of stoppage time added onto this contest for either of these sides to find a late winner. Burns looking to wrestle for it on the far side. Eventually cleared forward and brought down by Ramsey. Flicks it on, Jerez giving chase. And poked out of play by Bombachi.
Well, perhaps a chance for St Albans to get some bodies forward. It was everyone back behind the ball, certainly all hands to the pump for a few moments there as they defended that succession of set pieces and just had a lot of problems trying to get the ball up the field. Gergich has done just that, but that's not going to help because that's going to run harmlessly out of play. Goal quick. Going the way of the Sharks. Taken quickly by Chalmanov-Trinkov. Bombachi wants to get the ball forward quickly. Riccobenny hung in the air, nodded it away. Monek looking for support. Ramsey is flagged for being offside. And the St Albans fans on the far side, do you reckon they're happy with that decision?
Yeah, the fans finding their voice as we get into the final few moments here, looking to will their side towards victory. Maka. Port Melbourne wasting little time in getting proceedings back underway. Baker, as he's done so all evening long, allowed to canter forward. Assessing options, finds one in Edwards. Going backwards to go forwards at the moment. Burns goes all the way back. Milovanovic. Baker. Edwards, the left foot. Burns puts his head up. He's got Dunlop up to that right-hand side, eventually finds him. Looking to use the space advantage. Dunlop whips a dangerous ball in. Courtney Perkins looking to help it on its way. In hot pursuit to keep it in the field of play. The ball comes in once again. Gergich only goes as far as Maka. Edwards can't reel it in, and the ball will trickle over for a goal kick.
Well, what a delivery that was from Dunlop on the far side, the player who wasn't named in the starting 11 originally today. He's had a fantastic game. He's been very consistent in those positions, out wide on the right-hand side, delivering those balls. And you just felt it's only a matter of time till one of those has nodded into the corner of the goal, but Courtney Perkins couldn't direct it on target. And that St Albans goal has been living a charmed life during this second half in particular. Baker's head up. Cutler. Back heel by Chalina. Here's King. Max King with the change of direction. Turning it over though. Bombachi. This is Dunlop. Makur. Port Melbourne controlling possession. Bombachi switching the play. Summerskill still trying to keep pressing those Port Melbourne defenders. Oh, that's a great first touch by Mesmuri. It's away by Monek. Muri again. Has been lively since coming on. Enterprising play by Gergich, looking for Ramsey. Just struggled to get Carter Ramsey involved meaningfully since coming on off the bench. Albeit he hasn't had a heap of time to get involved. Burns his ball for Dunlop. Could this be the moment? Oh, another great build-up down the right-hand side by the Sharks. Here's Baker. It's Muri and King do battle. Falls the way of St Albans. Ball forward towards Ramsey, trying to use the body against Milovanovic. And that's full time, and neither side is able to break the deadlock. An entertaining end-to-end match, but it ends scoreless. At full time at JL Murphy, Port Melbourne 0, St Albans 0. What kind of afternoon have we just seen? That was an excruciating time waiting for that goal to come, and it never came, Simon Rathbone.
Well, it was an interesting game from both sides. I mean, for Port Melbourne, they had some great opportunities in both halves, just unable to find that finishing touch. It's a almost brand new team for them out there this afternoon. I just feel as though as the new recruits get their time to gel and work to play as a team, those goals will come. We saw how many goals they scored last season. While for St Albans, that defensive line was put under all sorts of pressure across the 90 minutes, and they managed to come away with a 0-0 draw. Both sides, they started last year's campaign with a draw, and that trend continues here today. I mean, what a game from the shot stopper Jasmine Kronovic for St Albans. He came up with some big plays there right at the death for St Albans.
Yeah, 18 saves according to the stats. 19 shots by Port Melbourne, 8 on target, 5 shots only by St Albans with 3 on target. And a match that promised a lot and in the end delivered an entertaining match and a really good hit out for both sides. Particularly, as you said, with Port Melbourne, 8 new players in the starting 11 that didn't feature at the club last year, as well as new coach Nick Marinos. He'll be disappointed that he didn't get the 3 points tonight, but he'll move on to next week knowing that he's had a solid hit out against a team that wanted to put men behind the ball and make it hard for them here, play on the counter, and they weren't far away. Certainly some bright moments, especially from in attack. Emmanuel Peters was impressive and he came close to scoring many a time, as did Courtney Perkins, but nonetheless it wasn't to be. Josh Diven was a handful for the Port Melbourne defence at times, particularly as the game wore on the second half. It was all Port Melbourne, and if anyone's going to go home feeling aggrieved not getting something more out of this game, it is them. But Port Melbourne will press on to, with a short turnaround, to play the Melbourne Knights next Friday night before fixtures against Moreland City back here the following week, and then a trip out to Broadmeadows Valley Park, a venue that you're familiar with, Simon, to tackle Hume City, whereas St Albans are back at home next week, but a tough assignment on Sunday. Avondale will be visiting, then another home match against Dandenong City, perhaps a chance to pick up some points there, and the Melbourne Knights in the Croatian Western Suburb Derby taking place the following round in round 4. Plenty of action to sink your teeth into in NPL Victoria, and you can flick across those other matches still in progress. Altona Magic and Heidelberg United, also Dandenong Thunder and Hume City, both in progress to round out what's been a gripping round 1 for the 2024 season of NPL Victoria, Simon.
Yeah, that's right. So 0-0 the score. Port Melbourne against St Albans here at JL Murphy Reserve. My name's Simon Rathbone, been alongside in the commentary box with Steve Curtin. We thank you for your company here this evening, and we look forward to seeing you in round 2 of the NPL Victoria.